Hi, my name is Harrison Morris, and today I'm going to be talking about the discovery of the neutrino. So, the theory behind the neutrino began in 1930 when neutrinos were first hypothesized. Um, this was because beta radiation was being observed, um, which was outputting electrons that did not have the expected energy levels. Uh, expected energy levels was from the reaction was dictating. To solve this, to fix this discrepancy, it was theorized that a third non-charged particle must exist in order for these reactions to occur while maintaining conservation of mass energy as well as charge. Because um, because charge was being conserved already with the known particles, it was theorized that the neutrino, the theoretical particle, had to have a neutral charge. So Reines and Cohen conducted their experiment in 1956 to experimentally prove, or quote unquote discover, the existence of the neutrino. They began with preliminary testing on their idea before moving their operation to the Savannah River plant, which is actually on the Savannah River on the border between Georgia and South Carolina, near Augusta, Georgia. And during this experiment, they were able to prove the existence of the neutrino. So, with this experimental setup, their neutrino source was a nuclear reactor. Neutrinos are very hard to observe naturally, but they're much, much more common in nuclear reactor scenarios and environments. So they used a poured off a nuclear reactor to supply neutrinos for their experiment. They used these neutrinos to bombard a tank of water to interact with the hydrogen particles in the water. Um, this actually, and so these neutrinos interacted with the protons to produce electrons, which then would, or they would produce protons, excuse me, which would annihilate with electrons. This process also produced neutrons from the protons by converting them through these neutrino interactions. Um, so the two products of study here from this bombardment was the neutrons and the positrons. Um, so the positrons would then very quickly annihilate with electrons to produce gamma radiation. And then the water tank was filled with cadmium chloride solution, which allowed for the detection of neutrinos, or of neutrons, it's a typo, of neutrons, which allowed them to, which allowed the cadmium to be excited in a higher isotope, and then this excitation would be expelled through gamma radiation. So you have two sources of gamma radiation now, from the annihilation of positrons with electrons, as well as the cadmium interactions with neutrons. This gamma radiation uh, was given off by both indicators, which if we go back, we can see that the water tank also contained scintillators, which what that is it's a material that when radiation interacts with it and ionizes it, it produces visible light, which could then be measured by photomultipliers. Um, and so Reines and Co. have been able to measure the neutrino events within their system, their experimental setup. They were able to differentiate between the gamma radiation produced by positron annihilation as well as neutron interactions due to due to a known approximately 5 microsecond time delay between the two. And with this, they were able to prove the expected cross section of the neutrino bombardment and prove the existence of the neutrinos.